everybody. So today's Monday. That means it's time for Family Movie Night. And this week we are continuing on my Disney Canon project. And this is a series I started many, many years ago where I review every single film in the Disney canon. And I hadn't updated it since Ralph Breaks the Internet. So this whole month I've been updating it with the newest Disney films. And today we're talking about the 60th animated classic from Walt Disney Animated Studios. We're talking about Encanto. And I think Encanto is a really special film. I think it has great music. I think that it has a very interesting story, and it managed to develop a lot of characters well. And you really, I especially think people from a big family, like I'm from a big family, will definitely be able to relate to this film very much. And so I think it's something that I wish I had had when I was growing up. I wish I'd had an Encanto to kind of connect with and talk about. And I think it will lead to a lot of really great discussions with families for Family Movie Night. It's a perfect choice. And of course, this film is about the family Madrigal, and we get introduced to the family we get the backstory of Abuela and the creation of the miracle and the Encanto house. And then we get introduced to the entire family with the Madrigal song, and we hear about all of the gifts. And we also learn that Maribel did not get a gift. Life in the family, Madrigal. Whoa! Now you know the family, Madrigal. And you start to see the sort of panic on the part of Abuela that then develops throughout the course of the movie. And I think that it's very interesting to have a movie acknowledges sometimes the loneliness of family. You know, that we always talk about how great family is and how blessed family is, and home can be a heaven on earth and things like that. But it can also be really hard. Families can be difficult, and especially when you feel like you don't really fit in with your family. And I definitely think I would have connected with that growing up. Not that I didn't love my family, and Maribel loves her family, but I definitely felt like I just was different than everybody in my family. I felt like I processed things different. I didn't feel like people understood me very well. And I remember being very, very frustrated by that. I mean, I vividly remember this one time just telling him that I'm the one that's like everybody else. You all are the one that are different. And yet in my family, I'm the different one, and how frustrating that was for me. And my sister and brother were a lot more the same. And my brother and I struggled to get along growing up. And I of course loved everybody in my family, but I just could definitely connect with Maribel and her sort of frustration and her loneliness. I was a very extroverted kid, so it might not have seemed like I was the type of kid who was lonely or got lonely, but I definitely had my moments for sure when I felt like nobody understood. And I was grateful that I was lucky that I had a faith to lean on to that gave me a sense of purpose, and that I got my sense of value from there. That I didn't need it from other people. I got it from God. So that was very, very fortunate. But Maribel struggles. She struggles to fit in, but she's so positive and she just plows along. She tries to support the family in any way that she can, but things slowly start kind of falling apart. And she starts to see sort of cracks in the magic. And nowhere do I go? I am waiting on a miracle, I would heal what's broken. And of course, then we get Antonio's gift ceremony. And I love the relationship between Antonio and Maribel. I think it's so sweet. And it's just like sweet little moments that the film takes time for, like when they're under the bed in the nursery and they are just talking about his ceremony, and just such a sweet, lovely little moment, I think, between those two characters. And I like the fact that this movie takes time to have those moments. It really feels like a family, and you really feel like you get to know almost every character. Almost every character in this big family has a character arc. And you know, when I heard that they're going to be doing a series on Encanto, in fact, one time I think Bob Chapek described Encanto as Encanto the series, like as if it's a like Frozen, where it's a brand. And I can really see that. It makes total sense because you have so many characters to work with. And so I could almost have had this movie be even longer, which makes it perfect for doing a series. I also think that Lin-Manuel Miranda did such a great job with the songs. Is just one bop after another. I don't think there's a bad song in the soundtrack. and they really help you to get to know the characters. We have Luisa, a character you don't normally see in movies for kids, the sort of strong alpha female, that we see her in Under Pressure and we get to know her. And it's such a good song. One of the highlights. Also have Isabella, who goes through a whole arc. We start out kind of disliking her because Maribel dislikes her. She thinks she's perfect, but we find out later that she's actually hiding a lot of her frustrations, and she doesn't want to get married to this guy, and she's just doing everything for the family, sort of the weight of perfection that we get with Isabel. Then we also have Bruno, who is one of the triplets, along with Maribel's mother and her aunt. And Bruno had a visions as his gift, and he has this vision that the magic is going to be destroyed, and that Maribel is going to be an important part of that. And so they send him away, or he goes away. And the first part of the movie is about her trying to find Bruno and trying to find out more about the vision and what is happening. And of course we don't talk about Bruno, which I said when I left the theater. I said that song is a great song, that's going to be a hit. And everybody else was like, what? No way. I totally called it. It's such a catchy song. It has such a good hook. It just draws you in. Really fun. We don't talk about Bruno. Really fun song. And John Leguizamo is so good as Bruno. I really liked his character. And again, they take time to really get you to know Bruno and what he's been, even to have sort of funny jokes about the mice performers that have been entertaining him and things like that. You also get to know Dolores, who can hear everything. And she's been aware of Bruno all this time because she can hear a pin drop. And so, she's an interesting character. And we also find out that she has had a crush on the boyfriend of Isabella. Mariano is his name. And we find out that Dolores is actually in love with Mariano. So then we have Maribel's Aunt Peppa, who controls the weather. And I think you could really call her gift more of a curse than a gift, because having to deal with that weather cloud all the time would be a nightmare. but she's fun, and of course she's the one that sings We Don't Talk About Bruno, so she has a really important part of the whole movie. And I think it's really interesting what they do with Abuela, and making her, instead of, like, most grandmas are these sweet, lovely characters, but she is allowed sort of her anxiety to control the family, and she's the one that has caused this magic to start to die, and she blames it on Maribel. And I mean, it gets pretty dark. I mean, they do end up redeeming the character finally at the end of that scene where Maribel finally understands why her grandmother has this anxiety because of what had happened to her family. And that makes total sense. And when the whole community comes together to bring back the Encanto, it's a wonderful thing. And then you find out that Maribel, her true gift is actually the whole house and the magic itself, and being the true leader of her family. I think it's a lovely way to end the movie, and really works well, especially for her character. I also love the fact that they give Maribel such wonderful curly hair. You don't usually see curly hair that much in animated films, so that was really fun. And I love the personality of the house, how it kind of talks and has opinions and things like that, is really cute. I think they did a very good job with that. So I just love this movie. I love the message of kind of messy families coming together, figuring things out, loving each other for your true gifts, for who you are. I think that's great. I think Maribel's a great character. I love the songs. I love the animation. I think it's beautiful. So I think it's a wonderful film from Disney, and a great one to be the 60th film in their animated library. So let me know what you think of Encanto. Is it a favorite of yours of the recent post-revival era? What do you think? I love all the voice actors. I think they all did an amazing job. And so I'm excited to see what they do with this franchise going forward. It's going to be neat. So I'd love to hear thoughts in the comments, and please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. You can find me all over social media, and I'm back on Facebook, so that's exciting. Make sure to take a look at my Facebook page. And also we have the Patreon group, which is the best way that you can support us. It helps me so much. And also we have the merch store where you hashtag animation junkie shirts. So take a look at that. We've got lots of Valentine's merch today as well. And we've got lots of Valentine's merch this month as well. So check that out. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.